Hello and welcome to a brand new year, and this is FiatLeak live stream. It is January 2nd, 2024, and that was a tongue twister, and I just went backwards. Welcome everyone. We are live, and it is our first stream of the year. And I want to welcome Octo to the stream. Octo, how are you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you and everyone who's watching. I'm doing okay. I've been enjoying a little bit of time off and a little bit of chart watching as usual. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the latest Bitcoin pump to surpass the $45,000 mark.
Indeed, yes. Yes,
And
we heard
yeah,
that.
in some interesting price action this year, which kind of differs quite a bit from the last New Year's Eves I've been observing
Hmm.
because of various things that have been happening in the crypto world, news and world events. They made some uncorrelated moves. A lot of the cryptocurrencies I usually watch. It was quite interesting to see.
In comparison to last year, what
Yeah,
are the key differences that you would say?
well, I've noticed almost independent moves by Bitcoin when normally it just keeps correlation with a lot of the other top 10, let's say.
Right.
And the reaction to how Bitcoin moves by the other cryptocurrencies has been different as well, which tells me there's been maybe a slight change in patterns on how people trade, at least for this period.
Looks like Seattle John here is asking, Octo, are you in any active trades at the moment? How about you, Danny? Let's start with you, Octo.
Uh, I am, yes. I've done a couple of micro trades purely for, well, yeah, just to see if I was predicting correctly. Um, One I can mention, I've managed to ride a interesting uh, trade on TRB, Heller, the last couple of days. I caught some early signs that something was happening, and it did something like 300% gain
Whoa.
in a few hours, and it was all due to one big fat whale uh, who bought a lot of it and then dumped.
Hmm.
So I did a little bit of spot trading on it and a tiny bit of leverage trading on the way down as well.
Oh,
So I
wow.
managed to get a little bit of up and a little bit on the down.
I've never done the down for leverage trading.
I know it's against
Different.
my religion to do it, but it was such it was such a cliche type of pump
Hmm.
due to like millions being bought by one specific whale, and the correction or retracing back down to the same value as it was before the pump was really inevitable, and it was all about just nailing the top, and I pretty much did it.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, it was interesting.
Always
And
fun.
yeah, other than that, I've got my eyes on Mina. I've got some active trades on that because
Hmm.
he had a late reaction to the last few months of pumps, and they managed to grab quite a bit at way less than half the price that it is now, and
Fantastic.
that did a good 100% in the last few weeks as well. So yeah, that's one of my active ones. Like Mina because yeah, it's kind of similar in some ways to Milix. I always liked the very lightweight technology behind it and the way they approach the fees and the whole blockchain scenario.
Yeah, it's always helpful to be able to, you know, believe in the project when you're investing. Even if even if you're shorting, it gives you a little, more confidence that you are making the right moves and decisions. And just real quick, I want to thank everyone that is currently watching us right now, and ringing in the new year with this stream. Shout out to Seattle John first and foremost for already asking some great questions. And GOMC57, SJHW, King555, Nerone, Dabs. Oh man, we have an all-star cast here with us. Who else we got? Felita Van Gran, who is, I know, from South Africa. Shajad Shah. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, add them in the comments on YouTube, and go ahead and add your Tangled usernames as well, because we will do a wheel spin a little bit earlier today, because one of the reasons being we went through the news this morning, and there's really not a lot of news going on. I think it's also in due part that everyone's just getting back into the swing of things in the new year, and they're just getting back into the office. So not a whole lot of news, but there is always a lot to talk about nonetheless, especially when you have Octo as your co-host here. With that said, just to go off of John's question, if I'm in any trades or positions, right now I'm just testing the markets. I'm playing it very easy. I have some positions with Polygon, Solana, and a few others, but I'm just kind of after last season's FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader, I was so not to brag, I was so impressed with my performance. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dabble a little bit more, because I tend to have some sense of where things will go in a week's time. And personally, I like to hold long term. I don't trade too often, but when I do, I tend to do decent. So and I usually like to do it during a bull market and kind of just chill out during a bear market. But things are getting exciting, so I might as well have some fun with it. So go ahead, everyone, add your names to the wheel spin, and let's get into the news. It looks like I just lost Octo, but let me bring him back in. Here we go.
Yeah,
there we go. You're back, Octo. And with that said, let's go ahead and get into the news. I'm going to start with I guess the biggest news of the day, which is Bitcoin tops $45,000 for the first time since April of 2022 as wild crypto rally continues. Bitcoin surged late Monday, topping $45,000 to hit the highest level in nearly 21 months as a rally in cryptocurrencies continue in 2024. Other cryptocurrencies have also joined the rally, with Ether and Solana both rising. Traders are excited about the potential approval of a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund in the U.S., as well as the upcoming Bitcoin halving. What say you, Octo? What say you? When is the halving exactly? What's the date on that?
I believe it's first week of May. If I have seen different news. Some say April, but the last one that seemed a bit more, I think it was around the May the 9th, something like that.
It's around the corner.
So, yeah. So it is fairly soon.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hype around it. Although technically it's something that will just make Bitcoin cost more.
Yeah.
In the sense of electricity cost and halving, it literally cuts in half the profits of the miners.
Yeah. More effort, more electricity use, less profit.
Yeah, exactly. More hash rates needed to find a block. All of this news, it should not really make a good case for Bitcoin. The only thing I think it has going for it is the scarcity factor,
Indeed.
which makes it more becoming sort of collectible.
Yeah, I mean, if we know the scarcity is inevitably gonna, if Bitcoin's gonna be more scarce, that's a kind of a guaranteed indicator to try to accumulate Bitcoin now before it's too late. I mean, depending what you can purchase or hold, nonetheless you will profit, but it's a matter of getting in when it's still feasible.
Although there's not much left to be mined, because I think we are already over 19 million. So to get to 21, but the prediction, they pretty much say it could be ending around the year 2030, which is, it's quite a while away, just to mine the last remaining less than 10% of it. And yeah, a lot of factors, including an estimate, a fairly accurate estimate of around 20% of all the existing Bitcoin being lost forever. That's a big chunk, about a couple of million Bitcoin,
Right.
due to people losing keys, hard drive failures, or life events
Yeah.
that have made for that.
A death and no,
That's
never
right.
passing.
Makes it even
Yeah.
better. But at the same time, yeah, there's new tricks the Bitcoin is learning, as we saw from the recent introduction of the BRC20 chain and the NFT factor.
Yeah. There's an
And as I
evolution.
think I mentioned last time, there soon could be smart contracts. Yeah, there should be smart contracts coming into the Bitcoin family. And so, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think there is going to be any sort of like hype or kind of appeal to the last Bitcoin mined and having that particular Bitcoin in that block having maybe additional value?
Well, it could be. Yeah, the last block, you would have like a serial number,
Hmm.
almost like, so it could have some sort of value, like, having the first batch of a new uh, fiat note,
Yeah.
made out.
Exactly. Yeah. That'd
There
be
could be
cool.
some value to that.
I mean, do we know where like some of the earliest Bitcoins are? Like, is it just so are the the Sats so spread out now that it's just like everywhere? Or
Well, the blockchain is public, and there
yeah,
are, definitely you can tell which wallet is containing what.
yeah,
You just maybe don't know who it belongs to.
right, right. Well, as we
So
can see
that.
here on the map, Bitcoin is moving at a feverish pace. We have 150 to 60 trades in the past minute, with right now us kind of near the 24-hour high, over $45,000 at the moment. We're up 5.48%. It's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day for
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
and volumes keep up. I was keeping an eye last night while it was slowly, not that slowly, but it was climbing up to the 45,000 mark. And yeah, there was on FiatLeak, there was around, it started going up from 100 Bitcoin per minute to almost 200.
Wow.
And now we are, yeah, still close to that. In fact, the total um, crypto volume is up 74% in the last 24 hours.
Wow. There's
And
definitely some FOMO kicking in, and maybe some people with some holiday money from gifts going into crypto.
yeah, and people waking up and seeing, a couple of thousand over the price that they left it when they went to sleep.
Yeah.
It definitely sparked some orders. I saw some crazy orders going through the books while I was watching it live last night. It was mad.
Do you
And
see any sell walls to look out for?
there was, yes, there are some, but there are different categories. There are, the short-term sell-offs for accumulation purposes, and I've seen the inevitable hundreds of million in liquidations as the price was going up. Everybody was shorting it at the end of
Mm,
December. A lot of those people got liquidated, and I believe it was over 200 millions again by the time it reached 45,000, almost 300 million in Bitcoin liquidations. At the same time, you see a quite a large amount of liquidation creating at lower levels because of everybody longing it,
yeah.
FOMO in, and there is a pretty large chunk of liquidation at around 42,000 and a couple of hundred. So it could retrace down to that, which would be absolutely normal.
Totally. I'd be
Making
happy
the
if it stays above 40,000 US dollars. I mean, we
yeah,
still have a lot of upside this year.
yeah.
Yeah, things are looking good. I mean, it's a good day when the market summary, when the last green currency you can see is up 10%, where like something like Milix is currently at 7% up, and you can't even see it on the market summary. So we have 10% and higher. And look at LSK, that's at 44% plus. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
these
that
are all
list?
Lisk. It's Lisk. We have what's that scale again? Um
Oh, scale.
scale. Scale
Yeah.
and band protocol. Are these all? I know band is an Oracle. It's direct competitor with Chainlink. Got H bar there, but I believe the first three on the top, they correct me if I'm wrong. Are they all ERC20s? Hard to say,
Not
right?
sure. I'm just having a quick look, refresh my memory. No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm looking at scale and I don't see the contract
I remember
addresses.
scale was. I thought it was a scaling solution on the
I
nose
see.
there
Oh,
for
yeah,
Ethereum.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is ERC20 scale. Yeah,
I mean,
right. Because even
Ethereum. Look
the
at that, and like just for what it's worth. I
Ethereum is
mean,
the first one. Yeah, who started moving a little bit after Bitcoin was already going up
mhm.
uh, quite nicely. And
Where's Solana at?
Solana started moving as well, almost after Bitcoin reached
It's at
45.
345.
I saw some movement.
Very cool. Well, let's go ahead and keep it on topic with Bitcoin, but a little bit different. And I think this can open up a conversation for the bigger picture. We saw this article today. It says tax revenue from cryptocurrency mining modest but growing in Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's untapped hydroelectric capacity could make it a future mining powerhouse, but progress has been slow. The government of Kyrgyzstan collected 78.6 million soms, almost 883,000 US dollars in taxes from cryptocurrency miners in the first 11 months of 2023, according to local press reports citing the finance ministry. Tax revenue from crypto mining was volatile in Kyrgyzstan in 2023, ranging from 738,000 soms, which is about 8,200 US dollars in February, to 11.6 million soms, which is about 130 US dollars, 130,000 US dollars in August. In November, the last month reported, receipts were flat at 7.6 million soms, which is about 85,000 US dollars, just below 86,000. After falling, from the August high, there is only one cryptocurrency mining company now operating officially in Kyrgyzstan, although there were once many more. So I think there's a bigger conversation to have about this. Just the fact that there's a government, a state, a country that is using their electrical infrastructure to mine cryptocurrency,
Yeah,
using that to generate revenue for the country. That's very future thinking, very future forward, and being that it's only one company officially running, and they're in the profit. Clearly, if they scaled and if they use renewable energy such as hydroelectric dam,
hydroelectric. Yeah,
I mean, for a country like Kyrgyzstan, that can definitely be
yeah, make it.
extremely helpful for them.
Yeah,
I don't really know what their main revenue stream is. I haven't looked at their GDP or anything, but this is a newfound means, of generating revenue that was definitely not around, let's say, 2 decades ago for them.
oh yeah, but even just a few years ago, it's a lot of this happened after China banned
Mm,
Bitcoin mining. and there was a very quick shift of mining operation, literally moving country, and the regulation not keeping up with it, so allowing it for sometimes a few months, and then they made the high tax or ban it in this other country where it was moved. So they've been moving around wherever it was more, well, wherever it was possible to mine it, also where the cost of it was reasonable, because if you move it to countries where it is legal to, but the electricity costs are higher than what you could earn from it,
Hmm.
you know, becomes not very profitable.
Exactly.
And the fact that countries, with maybe not really high revenue, consider that as a way of making money at a sort of government level, sort of percentage of their revenue comes from mining. It is interesting, especially for countries that have means of producing electricity other than the usual kind of
Fossil fuels.
unclean, expensive ones. Yeah.
Right.
Like what we were talking about a few streams ago about was it the volcano miner of where was that? That was somewhere in South
Was that
America, was it?
Iceland? Oh, volcano. Oh, you're right. Yes, yes, yes. It
Yeah,
was in Venezuela, was it, or
yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
somewhere
probably.
in
Yeah,
South America? But you're right, and that was going to bring me to my next question. Think about certain third world countries where they're rich in resources, but their economy hasn't really evolved to first world standards, let's say, but they're sitting on untapped potential, figuratively and literally, with their you know natural resources and potential and clean energy production. How
yeah,
cryptocurrency could be such a boom for their economy. Think about it like this:
yeah.
in the Middle East, before petrol, they didn't really. It was a wasteland. It was a dry bed of
Yeah,
desert. It was a desert. And once petrol became, the currency of the world, they boomed, and now we have the OPEC states. Imagine certain countries that tap into the opportunity of crypto mining, or even node operations, just future forward thinking endeavors that can enrich the country. What countries do you see have the potential of being these future leaders in cryptocurrency mining?
well, I think at the moment, purely because the cost of electricity it's lower, and the GBP could be lower as well, the actual total profit of a country. There's a lot of countries in North Africa that are
Mm,
using it. And I can see even some countries in the Middle East, they are investing a lot in renewable energy, solar and wind, and that would make it possible. Although it's kind of expensive as an infrastructure to start, but then it would make it profitable to run miners when the electricity comes from renewable energies,
definitely.
making it green, therefore less susceptible to taxes and bans, because a lot of the banning it's due to the fact that it's creating a very large carbon footprint, uh, because as we know, still more than 50% of the electricity in the world is produced by coal,
Oh wow,
therefore
did not
not
know
really
that.
green. Yeah, I mean nuclear is the second one, but coal, but there's still a lot of it like that. It's slowly decreasing, but solar needs a lot of infrastructure to produce as much.
Sure.
And nuclear is still the cheapest and cleanest compared to the lot, but
Mhm.
then it's down to again laws and politics about
You
how
just said
safe.
it. Because you
Yeah,
could be a country like Venezuela, which is, from my understanding, they have largest reserve of oil in the world, apparently, or if not the largest, close to the largest. Yeah, we know what happened to their fiat currency, their inflation, just mismanagement of the government, therefore their local economy. Um, I mean, whether we talk about the Middle East or countries like Venezuela, if they just got their act together, they are sitting on, the Middle East. It's desert, a lot of sunlight, a lot of desolate land. They fill that with solar panels and turbines, and for doing wind and solar in conjunction with their resources that they have. I mean, they would be very competitive and I would argue unstoppable. But again, it really comes down to the politics and, the powers that control the governments in that region. And
That's right.
so, and in regards to China, they are growing at a rate that is almost not unmanageable to an extent, but yet
Absolutely,
um
yeah.
so for their case of stopping, the miners was also because it was taking so much power out of the grid that there wasn't enough to go around to feed the population, so to speak, and the factories. And you got to remember,
Yeah,
China is a huge manufacturing economy.
yeah.
They're not a consumer economy; they're a manufacturing economy, and they need that electricity to be able to run their factories. And even so, there's regions in China that after a certain time, the power goes out. They shut everything off just to conserve power. So introducing something like mining rigs at scale is just not feasible with their current infrastructure. Now, I'm sure China
Yeah.
sees the lost potential, but for whatever reason, they've decided that the better decision is to ban it. Will it change? Things can always change, but I think we're still in
It
the
can
Wild
change,
West.
yeah. I mean, they shifted focus over their digital cryptocurrency,
True.
and they managed to
Your stable coin.
get, uh, yeah, they have their CBDC basically. It's already been doing very interesting volumes and being used. So the ban, it was in a way like crypto trading is being banned because only against the well-known stable coins. It was to promote their own, and that's a way of earning without having to use electricity. You know, in a kind of simple way of saying it.
Right. Right. Let me ask you, Octo. We're less than 5,000 US dollars away from Bitcoin hitting the $50,000 mark. We have a couple people asking in the chat, when is Bitcoin going to hit $50,000? Do you have a prediction, a tentative date where you think it can hit 50,000 US dollars?
Well, I think it could be as there is a couple of dates I have in mind, but it could be as simple as in a couple of days, within the next 2 days
Yeah,
before
same.
the weekend. Uh, it could be after a small correction from this point, but I think we're going to see something interesting around the 9th or the 10th of January,
Mm-hmm.
which is when some of the ETFs' decision are going to be announced and taken. So that could actually create a lot of kind of a gold rush just before the date, or depending on the outcome, just after
Yeah.
that.
And I see that in the chat you wrote 58K next step, and I
48, yeah.
kind of see that, like, us going to 48K, then doing a little slight correction down,
48,
and
that's
then going
purely
back
on
up.
chart analysis.
Yeah,
Uh,
same.
because the way it seems to be holding above 45, it's kind of trying to make a new support line,
Yeah,
and keeping that above 45, it would make the next step 48, and
right.
that could happen, in a few hours, in tomorrow, tonight,
Yeah,
anything like that. It could. It's
It might be a
you know
fun little bet to make on g/bets on tangle.com. Maybe we will do a post after the stream if everyone wants to take a stab as to when Bitcoin will hit 50,000 US dollars, and the person that comes closest will take the whole pot. So maybe I'll do that.
that'd
So
be interesting. Yeah,
that'll be
yeah,
fun little thing. Um, uh, if you guys haven't noticed, we didn't bring up any FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader because I think this week and maybe next week we're going to be taking a break from the FiatLeak Fantasy Day Trader, but we will continue and start season 2 very soon. So take this time
yeah,
to start analyzing the markets and figuring out what your position will be when the time comes. But I do look forward to that, and it'll be a lot of fun. And maybe I will actually put my money where my mouth is and actually put in some money into
yeah,
these trades. I decide maybe it'll kind of make my choices a little bit more intentional.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to as well. I'm also looking at usually the way the rest of the market behaves when Bitcoin is moving. It's an indicator, and sometimes you have, as I was saying before, you have Bitcoin moving upwards, and everything else, every other chart, it's almost identical. Everything correlates. And then you have other times when alts are moving and Bitcoin is going sideways.
Yeah.
The way it's happening this time, it's a little bit different than the usual, because now there's a bit of sideways Bitcoin, and alts have not been reacting too much to the last pump. In fact, they are kind of showing a little maybe bigger correction than Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin is doing small lower spikes, and everybody else is doing slightly bigger ones, which that's normally an indication that the Bitcoin dominance is gaining a little bit.
Mhm.
And when that's happening, that's when you could have another, $3,000 spike upwards,
Mhm.
just out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And
I think we're in
that's
for
why
a
I
lot
was
of
saying
surprises.
it could be tomorrow, or it
Yeah.
could be just before or after the 10th. But yeah,
I mean, just look at this map right now. I mean, yeah, we dipped a little bit, and now it's climbing again to about 90. We're kind of teetering around 90 trades a minute, and 90, not trades. I should say bitcoins, right? That
yeah,
counter is actual bitcoins being traded in a minute's time. But the map is just on fire. It's going everywhere. We have Bitcoin being purchased with euros, with the Korean currency. We
yeah,
got dollars. We have even Miramar is purchasing. It's just going all over the map here, and Canada. And when you were describing, the correlation, I was just thinking of someone opening a can of soda, and that soda is Bitcoin, and you're pouring that Bitcoin into the glass, and it's going up and it's moving, right? And then all the bubbles that's fizzling, it's all the altcoins, and then once Bitcoin settles, then the fizzle goes up, and it's still moving and trying to correct itself, and then everything gets, kind of chills. It's
levels
like the
out.
reverberation. The alts reverberate after Bitcoin, but Bitcoin always
Yeah,
leads. But
the ripple effect
the
of
ripple
throwing something
effect.
in water. Yeah,
And look at that, Octo. Just perfect of a segue for us to go to
it's a bit.
XRP, the most popular currency on FiatLeak. I'm going to head to that map now, and I have one news article here with Ripple. Nothing too crazy, but again, it can open up conversation for bigger implications of what this kind of news means in general. So, Ripple hopes new Binance pairs can give XRP a price boost. Ripple's value has remained in a narrow range between 60 cents and 64 cents over the last month. Binance introduced additional trading pairs for XRP, such as with the stablecoin USDC, potentially enhancing its liquidity. The trajectory of XRP remains unclear, yet it may experience shifts in the upcoming year. So, when I read this, I was just thinking about, how adding new trading pairs for certain currencies has a potential of adding liquidity, and therefore just more traders getting involved, and and how important it is for crypto tokens to have options. So then there's just more accessibility across markets, and
Yeah, and more interest.
more
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of traders that trade just Bitcoin against other coins, and in a lot of exchanges, the slash Bitcoin pairs are limited, so it leaves out a chunk of the market. And when the only option is to trade it against stablecoin and things like that. Now, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask, did you see what kind of pairs have been added?
Let me go ahead and take a look here. I'm gonna pull up the
Just to have a quick
article.
refresh, because I did see this pretty mad increase in this new stablecoin added to Binance, and I believe that's been just taken in,
Mm,
and all the pairs have been added with this new stablecoin. But that was because their own BUSD Binance stablecoin was delisted. All the pairs with it were removed,
I remember that.
been banned or something. It
Hmm.
was maybe November or December.
Well,
It wasn't
I
that
think
long.
it was right around the time with the whole news with CZ and the
CZ being
settlement. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I've noticed it, and I looked into it a little bit, and I found it strange that it was this is a completely backed 100% by fiat stable coin. So no cryptocurrency or backing, no algorithmic backing that could create some of the big crashes that we've seen in the last couple of years. But it is being issued by a limited company, and I thought it was a little bit strange. They must have made a pretty good deal with Binance.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Yeah, it must have enough security and auditing, hopefully, to keep it from being susceptible to hacks and crashes.
Right. Well, from this article, it only lists one stablecoin, and that stablecoin is USDC. And but in addition to Ripple, there I guess with USDC. So there are a lot of people that use USDC. So that
USTC,
you
okay.
should be helpful for XRP, but I don't think it's going to be a game changer. Let's be realistic here. Um, but
USTC, you
yeah,
say USTC, yeah, that's the Luna one, the
that was
Terra.
Circle USDC.
Oh, USDC,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Circle
Yeah,
stable
sure,
coin.
yeah, that's the Coinbase stable coin,
Right,
basically.
right. Right. But hey, I
Just
mean,
checking.
Binance is the biggest exchange in the world, apparently, and adding, you know, the, the trading pair with USDC should absolutely help, and it's going to help all the other ones
Yeah,
mentioned as well: Cardano, Avalanche, Solana.
yeah. Considering the fact that it is at the moment the most trusted stable coin out
Yeah.
there, although it's not the biggest, but pretty close.
Let me ask you, PayPal released their own stablecoin. Has any exchanges adopted PayPal stablecoin yet? I haven't seen any, but like I would think that would be such
I
an
think
attractive
they
one
were
to
trying to.
add.
I think they were trying to keep it in their own market.
I
I've
see.
seen some numbers not long ago that was doing quite well
Hmm.
in the terms of volumes, but I don't know if it is meant to be introduced to exchanges.
I think you might be right there. Maybe it wasn't even meant for that. It's really meant for like an internal stable
Yeah, they
coin
kind of
for each.
created their own market
Yeah,
on PayPal,
yeah,
like it was before. They already had that. That you could buy it with fiat with a credit card. You could buy crypto, and they have their own fees and spreads.
mm.
And I think the introduction of the stablecoin it was just to work in their own market, but I am not entirely sure about that.
Well, Octo, check out this chart here on XRP. I mean, comparing it to Bitcoin, I mean, it's not too similar to. It seems like there's not too much of a correlation going on with XRP. Or am I wrong
No, not
here?
at all. Up to a few weeks ago, I was finding it actually very close in price and shape with Polygon, for example. Although it's got nothing to do with it,
Right.
I find sometimes slight correlations with TRX. But again, now it's
Mm.
just been doing his own thing completely. I think a lot of it is still due to this. There's still a lot of mentioning of the SEC lawsuit not being over,
Mm.
although months ago it was announced to be over. They
Yeah.
won,
Very
and
confusing.
yeah, and now it was kind of appealed. So there's still things going on, and there is this uncertainty that it makes it not a very tradable coin
Mm.
because it never has been a really highly tradable coin.
Are you
I think
saying XRP?
yeah, XRP. I think it has it's worth its utility,
Right.
which is making transactions
Which is also
safely.
how it won
Cheap.
its settlement, whatever. Said
Yeah,
it's not a store value, it's a utility coin. And
absolutely.
and that
And
is
it's
true,
never
yeah.
been traded. I mean, since I know Ripple, I mean XRP, it hasn't been one of the big volume trader ever because of many reasons.
Mm.
And so that's not really its power, and that's why I think the value at the moment and the charts are looking, you know, they're not making crazy spikes on news because when a regular, let's call it regular coin, normally you have about a 10% of its market cap as trading volume. That's kind of a standard that I've noticed between all the
I
cryptocurrencies
see.
in the top 100. The moment XRP with a 35 billion market cap, it should have around at least 3 billion in trading volume. Instead, it's got 735,000.
Mm.
Sorry, 735 million,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's less than 5%, way less than that. And it's always kept this sort of low trading volume compared to the market cap.
Yeah, I think a lot of XRP holders are just that. They're more interested in accumulating and not so much
Yeah, there's a bit of
trading.
accumulation going on for
Um,
the people who believes in it. There's a lot of holding because it's a pretty old coin. In fact,
oh
it
yeah,
was released after Bitcoin, but technically XRP was invented before
before,
Bitcoin.
right? That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
and so there's a lot of old school holders.
Yeah.
Uh,
And fun fact, your that was the first crypto that you purchased. Am I correct?
it was,
Yeah, look at that.
yeah,
Look at that.
definitely was, yeah.
Yeah.
Minutes before Bitcoin, but yeah, that was the first one because it sounded interesting. It sounded like a good idea.
I mean, and it still is, and it's still very much needed. Their mission, you
Yeah,
know. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, the world is getting smaller with the internet and everything else, and more and more people are transacting with one another across the globe. And you know, there's a lot of controversy to talk about a one world currency, and I don't think there's a necessity for a one world currency, but to have options in currencies that can work well as a form of cross border payments, then so be it. And Ripple has been the leader, I would say, in cross border payments. Of course, you
yeah.
have Stellar and others, but you know,
There's a lot of newcomers compared to it,
mhm,
but still to this day, to move things across the various exchanges that I use for speed and price, I still use Ripple in a lot of occasions because you find it almost everywhere,
mhm,
and it just makes it easy, very cheap. There's like zero point zero 0.01 of XRP as a fee for moving whatever amount in a
wow,
lot of exchanges. So it makes it, and I never ever once had a problem with, uh, you know, coins not turning up,
yeah,
and the fact that it doesn't move, it doesn't have this mad volatility. It makes
yes.
it easy for me to convert whatever into it, send it somewhere else, and reconvert it back if I want to with
Yeah.
very minimal losses.
Well, you kind of touched on something, for XRP to be, used as a utility for, cross-border payments and everything. It wouldn't be great if it was really volatile, would it? You know?
Yeah. Although when you play with large amounts, like maybe banks use it to do,
Hmm.
even the small fluctuations, they can make the difference between what you send and what you get after you convert it. If you send in $10 million worth of Ripple,
Yeah,
even a tiny bit of up or down, it will make a difference in the final amount that you get in.
I see. So, guys,
Although
everyone, real
we're
quick.
talking about
Yep,
minutes,
go ahead.
so minute settlements.
Right.
Normally, it wouldn't make that much of a dent. Certainly not more than the fees and risks involved if you use a different cryptocurrency to move your funds.
Sure.
The conversion, especially, because then the spreads as well, they change a lot what you can get in the end.
Right.
But sorry, while I was this, I've been sent a message from my wife saying, "But if Ripple is your favorite, what would Ripple favorite drink be? I mean, as in XRP." So my favorite drink, since I'm a Ripple lover, my favorite drink would be XRpresso. Espresso.
XR Presso.
Okay,
That
I should have
is, that's a
I should have
dad
told that
joke. That's
better.
still in the oven. It's still baking. It's
That's a
not quite
dad
ready.
joke, and yeah, it didn't come from me.
By the way of a mom. It was a mom joke.
Yeah,
No, that's funny, man. Yeah,
it's
that's
funny.
cute.
Yeah, if you read it, spelling it out, it spells XRP, but
XR Presso.
espresso.
Espresso. Yeah, I had me a double shot, or actually two double shots of espresso today
Yeah,
with a little water. So it's Americano, but I'm just finally getting things moving into the new year. I've had a long holiday, and I'm starting to get back into the swing of things, but I don't like to be too far or too long from working. So it's good to be back, and XR
yeah.
Presso is definitely helping me get to
Oh
it.
yeah.
So, guys, let me read over the names that I have collected so far, and let me know in the chat if I missed you or if I missed anyone. So, bear with me here. I'm going to read the names, and I'm going to be looking out for any additional names because we are about to do the wheel spin very shortly. So, we have King 555, Riazali, Belita, SJHW, Seattle John, Jonathan Hernandez, GOMC57 or GeoMac57, 57, Narone, Sajad Shah, Ahmed Shah. Who am I missing, if anyone? And all those
And you
names that I
mentioned,
just mentioned, I want to say thank you again for sticking around, for always showing up to every single one of these streams. And we especially love it when you guys have questions for us or any input or feedback during the chat or during the show, because we do look at the chat. And there is Psych. So we're going to add Psych to it at PSYC.
yeah.
There she is. Boom.
Have you? I didn't hear if you said Roshni.
I did not add
I'll be
Roshni,
the
did I?
same. I see Roshni and King 555
I
are
added
there.
King.
You message, yeah, King, yeah.
I have Sajad Shah and Ahmed Shah. Roshni's added.
Okay.
Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. So I only put 10 prizes, but I want everyone to win today. Today I'm feeling good. I want everyone to win. It's a new year. Let's start on a high note. So I'm going to add a couple more places. We have 11,000 now. Excuse me, 11 million. There's an 11th place and a 12 million. Now, I think you and I should not add a proxy this time around. We need to keep it exclusively
No,
for
let's be in
everyone
it.
that is
Yeah.
here, The last call for the wheel spin. Anybody here? Looks like we have 13 viewers, but we only have 12 names.
Hey, little hooligan.
Oh, little
Hooli just
hooligan.
turned up.
All right, 13 million now. the one and only Lil Hooligan. And, Lil Hooligan has some new music baking in the oven, and we're working on it together. So, everyone, stay tuned. 2024 is going to be a great year for this guy, and we all appreciate him greatly. Let's add him to the list.
Excellent.
And we all have to shout out Millix, because Millix has a lot of fun things in store in regards to the ecosystem. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff that's going to unfurl and launch this year, relating to Tangled and the ecosystem at large, as I just said. So for sure, like on my end, I can tell you guys now, we have multiplayer gaming ready to go. We're just adding the payment functions in, which are already built, but it's like attaching it. It's like creating an international space station. We create all the parts, and now we just have to assemble it together. So there is so much that we're going to be launching that's going to make this whole network more robust and fun and
spin that wheel. Yep. Who's in, who's out, is out. Which this time nobody's actually surprised.
here where I'm from, it's 1111, which is my lucky number, which means I should spin right now. And here's the first prize. Let's go. Be a little bit of a delay for you, Octo, but I'll share it with you.
111.
Congratulations, Seattle John. You got the first prize for 1 million Millix. Now, Octo, what are some currencies that you have your eyes on? Whether it's ones that we know of or some new projects, what do you got in the pipeline?
Well, my latest focus is, as I was saying, on ZK project, Zero Knowledge, like Mina, and to quite a large extent Polygon, which is shifting a lot of its tech towards that, and DAGs. Because DAGs, they're just the cleverest technology. If you look at cryptocurrencies,
I have to agree.
They could make a lot of the standard layer 1, layer 2 obsolete. Proof of work and proof of stakes, they still have some, holes in it. When DAGs, they're just superior, which means I'm looking at IOTA, I'm looking at DAG, of course, Millix, and everything in its ecosystem. And there's quite a few out there that people don't know they are DAGs, but
Phantom, I believe, plays in that arena to an extent.
Sorry, which one?
Phantom.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Phantom is in the arena, exactly.
Yeah, I'm seeing more and more coming out, and I'm happy to say Millix was one of the first. Not the first, but definitely one of the first for sure. Fun fact: we designed the Millix logo in April of 2018, before Near Protocol, before a lot of these ones that have very similar logos. But we were first, and the trademarks will show that as well. And we're not so loud and obnoxious with our PR and public relations, but we should be to a degree. But we're so focused and so involved with the development and growing the foundation of it, than making promises that we on things that weren't developed yet. We wanted to come equipped, and I think in the long run that's going to prove to be the wise decision here. So
it's the opposite approach that I see from a lot of other cryptocurrencies, which they point, they put all their money on advertising and promising, and so many white papers of cryptocurrencies, they are literally a copy and paste. We are the fastest, we are the most scalable, we are the best. Okay, great.
Prove it.
Everybody says the same thing. Instead, I see the Millix ecosystem growing in so many different directions because it covers, from wallets to trading to NFTs to you name it. And with the downplay on the advertising part of it, because once the ecosystem is growing, so wide, it will speak for itself, as you were
Yeah.
saying your time.
There is a bottleneck when it comes to transactions, in particular fees, and that is what's kind of hindering and stunting the growth for a lot of crypto projects. And we should
Yeah,
be already moved. We should have already moved past that at this stage of cryptocurrency, as
developing.
far as since it's been around. So with DAGs, with the introduction of DAGs, hopefully we can really move forward from having to continually discuss, but the congestion and therefore the fees. That's why we can't scale with NFTs and utilize the idea of NFTs beyond just artwork, and starting to move on into greater things and at scale. And DAGs and particularly Millix can be such a great solution for all this.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
and there's still new things about it that haven't been maybe discussed or developed yet, which are very, very interesting.
And things that we haven't even thought of yet that it could be used
Yeah.
on. So we just spun the 10th prize, which is SJHW. I believe we have 3 more. So for these next 3, I'm going to announce. So congratulations, SJHW. You just won 10 million Millix. We're going to spin now. And don't mind me, Octo. I might cut you off in the middle just to.
Oh yeah, no, go.
But
Because I can't see it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Is the wheel going to show on the live stream?
Yeah, on the live stream, and it'll be in real time for them. They'll hear me announce it. So we're going to spin the 11th prize right now for 11 million Millix. And make sure everyone to go to tangle.com/bets. We will be posting a bet for when you think Bitcoin will hit 50,000 US dollars. And with that,
and it's a winner take all, yeah?
It's a winner take all. Yeah, the closest one will get it all. I think that'll be the fair thing to do. Congratulations, Ahmed Shah. You just won 11 million Millix. Congratulations. Happy New Year. On to 12th prize. We have 2 people left on the wheel. And the 12th prize will go to Riazali, looks like. Congratulations, Riazali. 12 million Millix for you. And Happy New Year. Which then the obvious prize for 13 million Millix is the one and only Kingpin Godfather Rajni. Rajni, 13 million Millix your way. It looks like the Joker showed up a little late here today.
Joker just showed up. Yeah.
So all you can do is go home with a laugh or a smile. No Millix for you this time around, but we love seeing you in the chat, Joker. And we hit an hour and 3 minutes on this chat. I think we will leave it at that. You guys, thank you so much for sticking around. We have 16 viewers here, which is great. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you are on Twitter. Like the tweet if you want. We might take it down because for some reason every time we do a live stream on Twitter, the caption is the wrong caption, even though I write the right one in. But more information than you need. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. We will see you back here Friday for another one of these FiatLeak live streams with Octo, myself, and maybe Price and Erickson. You guys are amazing. Let's continue the conversation on Tangle.com. Until then, we will see you next time.